Well, we were warned about theft.
Yeah.
There were multiple signs saying, like, put your backpacks in front of you, like, people will steal stuff out of your backpacks.
I was
Literally
like, Connor,
wanted to hide in a hole. I was so embarrassed.
Welcome back to our channel. And today we're doing a France and Greece Q&A. Are you in this?
I'm in it.
We are wrapping up today our Europe Q&As. We thought we'd just combine France and Greece because we've been home for like a few weeks now. We're excited to kind of like reminisce with you guys. One last time on Europe. It was seriously such a fun summer. It's funny because we came home and we kept telling everybody like, what'd you guys do this summer? How's your summer? They're like, it's October. And we're like, oh yeah, it's not summer. I made a post yesterday on our YouTube asking you guys like what videos you want to see from us now that we're home and back to like a normal routine. So if you have any specific videos you want to see, let us know. And yeah, we're excited. The holidays are coming up, you know I love that. And yeah, Halloween's in like 2 weeks, so pretty excited. First question, when you rented cars, did you rent car seats too? How did that work? So we kind of talked about this a little bit in the other videos, but we did rent car seats because we didn't want to bring ours, because every place we went we didn't have a car, so it would have kind of been pointless to like haul the car seats through places that like we didn't have a car. So we rented from 2 different companies, Europe Car and National.
You only have 2 arms to take stuff, and you can't take 2 car seats and 4 bags and backpacks.
Yeah,
you just can only take
it was
so
a lot.
much. So this is a hack. If you join National and become an Emerald Club member,
It's really easy. You just
which
enter your
is
phone number,
you
right?
enter your email and you become a member.
Nothing special.
You get to skip the line. You get to choose your style of car. So typically what I do is I pay for like the cheapest car, and then when I go to the counter they say, all right, if you're an Emerald Club member, go pick your car in the Emerald aisle, and then I just go pick whatever car I want. And then they don't charge me extra and I'm able to go. So that was nice. We did that one in Europe.
You're saying they don't charge you extra for a bigger car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't for me yet. And then we used Europe Car. So National and Europe Car.
Maybe National is a little better. Oh, that's the other thing. Emerald Club gives you like a huge discount, right? Or no? Just a little bit of a discount.
A little bit of a discount.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I would just double check, like call and confirm like the few days before you get there to make sure that they have the right size of car seat.
How to afford big trips with little kids. Honestly, what I believe in is credit card hacking. My parents used to do it all the time. Basically what it is using points from your credit cards to pay for your travels to get to most of the places. And so here's a plug for one group that I've been using a lot and following on social media. Her name is Travel Hacking Mom, and they just go over all these credit cards. They have a course that you can buy that shows you everything, but pretty much.
Have you started it?
Yeah, I'm 22% complete of the course. I looked today.
Nice.
But basically, like, especially growing up, because I grew up in a family of 5 kids, and that's the only way my parents were able to make it work was you can get different cards have different benefits. For example, Southwest does like a companion pass. So if you used 128,000 points, you get a companion to go with you for free, and you just have to pay the taxes on their flight. So you're basically getting awesome. 2 for 1. But on the way to Europe, what we did was we had opened a credit card before we purchased our flights, and you spend the money you already are going to spend in the month to get the bonus. And then you apply those points to the travel that you purchased. So that is what paid for our flights to get over. That's like my biggest tip in trying to afford it. And you can also apply those to hotels as well.
Okay, this next one says, were there any hotels, etc., that weren't worth the money? We didn't really stay in hotels except for like the last 3 nights when we were like in the airports. But we stayed in one place we stayed in an Airbnb in Santorini, and personally I don't feel like Santorini is worth the money. I think the view is beautiful, maybe to see like for one night, like once in your life, but there were a lot of other stunning views in Greece, and Santorini was super expensive. We stayed in Ia, so like that super beautiful town, and it's like the most expensive on the island. But we decided to get an Airbnb right where the sunset was because we just didn't want to have to deal with the crowds with the kids. That was super expensive, and I felt like it like wasn't worth it for what we got personally. Would you agree? I wouldn't go back. Would you agree?
to Santorini.
Santorini or like, yeah.
It's hard because you, like, when you envision Greece, that's where all the pictures are. So
Yeah.
you want to go see
It's
it.
a beautiful view, but I don't know.
And I don't know if I'd go there with kids.
I don't think.
It kind of depends on like what type of trip you're going for,
Yeah.
and how you're trying to.
I don't know if I would stay where we stayed. Like, again, only I really liked staying there for the kids. But if you didn't have kids, you'd be totally fine to stay somewhere else and just like fight the crowds because it was super expensive.
Yeah.
Next one is favorite food. They're talking Greece and France.
Oh my gosh, my favorite food.
Both of them were our favorites from the whole trip, I would say.
But like
Oh
a
my
gyro
gosh,
or
my mouth is
kebab,
watering
like
thinking about it right
pita.
now.
I would give a lot to go back and have that food.
And they were like
Greek yogurt.
$3 the euros.
I told-
not on Santorini, but on the other two islands we went, they were like $3 a euro.
I came back with banks and I went to Foodland, which is the local grocery store, and I sat in the Greek yogurt or the yogurt aisle for probably 15 minutes, looking at all of them, wondering which one would be the closest to the actual Greek yogurt in Greece. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I try the most expensive and try it to see if it's the closest. Because in my mind, that's kind of how it was.
Not even close.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah,
and I
their
wanted
Greek
to cry.
yogurt was so good. We did have one meal all the food we had in Paris was bomb. We had a really, really good dinner in the south of France, in the French Riviera, in the Via Franche-sur-Mer, down by the pier. What was it called? There's only a few restaurants down there. There's
The
not a
pizza?
ton. Yeah, but what was it called?
I forget what it was called, but like that part of France, an hour from the Italy border. So like you get really good pizza still for not being in Italy.
It was seriously
but then
like
you
better
also get
pizza
the
almost
French
than we had in
food.
Italy. It was so
Which
good. We
is
had this
kinda unpopular.
gnocchi that was like truffle cream gnocchi. I would give anything.
It was
to have
delicious.
that right
and then in Paris we
now. We
also
had
got
really
more
good food
pasta.
in Paris.
And
Yeah,
it
all the
was
food in France was so good. Yeah, unpopular opinion, but I kind of do feel like it was better than Italian food. Fave outfits of the day for everyone. Coco, how about you?
Well, I have 5 shirts and 2 pairs of pants, and all my shirts
He
were
doesn't
collared
care.
shirts. So you tell me.
Maybe we'll add a photo here.
Britt
of our
picked
favorite.
out all
We'll
my
add a photo.
clothes. Britt will add all the clothes. But if I did have to say my favorite shirt, it would be this rhythm shirt.
Would you come to the north of France next time? Would love to meet you someday. I actually don't know a ton about what is in the north of France, so we'll have to be
I'm guessing
educated
that's
on
where
that.
the Alps are.
I am too. I'm guessing it's a little bit colder and more mountains.
I'd love to go.
So yeah, we'd love to go back. I think.
Can we stay with you?
I think out of all the countries that we went to, I don't know. I think I would go back to all of them, honestly. Just maybe like do some things different. Like I don't know if we would do as many cities like we talked about before, and maybe stay longer in Switzerland so we could like experience more than just Lauterbrunnen Valley. But it was all of it was so fun.
Was it safe in Paris and other European cities you visited? Did you encounter any theft? Well, we were warned about theft.
Yeah.
Luckily, we did not get
Yeah, we were really lucky.
thieved or whatever.
We weren't in Paris
Santorini
that much.
and Ia, there were multiple signs saying like put your backpacks in front of you, like people will steal stuff out of your backpacks and your pockets. So we were super conscious, especially because we had our camera. And
So
our
I had
phone.
like a Thread Wallets
Crossbody bag.
crossbody bag that I would just keep in the front, and then we had a camera that we'd also just like keep in the front.
And just like try to keep our hand on whatever valuable stuff. But the term I had heard
Hand on
is
our children.
Yes, just like that people in Paris were pretty good
Pickpocketers. Going to Europe next summer. We only have 3 weeks, so which Greek city do you recommend and for how long?
Milos for a week.
100% Milos.
Gotta go.
I think I could do Milos for like, okay, maybe a week. Maybe you'd get over it after a week. We were there for 4 days.
And if you're
wanted more.
If you're dying to go to Santorini, that's okay. You can go, but only for 3 days.
Your parent.
Don't go longer. Don't go longer.
No, don't go for 3 days. I'd go for like 1 or 2. Don't spend $500 on a boat tour. That's all I gotta say. We spent $500 on a boat ride, and it was the biggest waste of money we've ever spent. We're so
about it. Athens was cool, but it was super busy. We stayed in an Airbnb that was close to the airport, so it was like an hour drive into the main city to see the Acropolis and all of that. Because of us, how we were going with kids, I don't know if I'd recommend staying a long time in Athens if you have young kids.
Yeah,
just
we didn't love Athens.
History might be hard.
And it was pretty like dirty and not tons.
Yeah, and the islands are just amazing.
Yeah.
So.
How did you pack for your kids / baby's most important items?
It was the packer.
I'll answer this one because we don't have a packer.
That's so messed up.
For banks, definitely the carrier, like we had an Ergo carrier. We hauled them around in that a ton. We also bought a really cheap travel stroller. I think it's linked on my monthly faves highlight on Instagram if you guys want to look. It was cheap. It was like $120
compared to strollers.
Yeah, compared to double strollers, like a lot. So we just wanted a cheap one because even if it wasn't that high of quality, because we know that they kind of get trashed, especially like on the planes and stuff. So like our wheel broke after one flight from, I'm sure, just them like throwing the bags on. Definitely that, because it's so nice to be able to push them around in the airports or like different places that you go. Something that really helped us with crew is his scooter. He could ride that like in Santorini. He rode like in the plaza. He rode it around in Croatia, the airports, lots of places, and it just was like a really good entertainment, maybe when like Banks was napping, or the airport where he was kind of bored, or if we had to do a few hours of work one day.
We got organizers to pack our clothes in, and each of us kind of had our own, which like you could tell by the pattern. This one was Brit's, or this one was mine, and these were like the kids. Like, so you weren't just digging through your bags trying to find all the clothes, just like pulling clothing after clothing item out to find. Second was a sound machine.
Yeah,
so we had an adapter. Obviously, you need an adapter for your outlets, and the sound machine helped a lot because it was hard for the kids to go to sleep.
And we were in kind of like close quarters, even though we are at home too. We had a refrigerator bag. My friend Maddie gave us this tip and it helped a lot. We actually took it with us. We had the intention of kind of getting rid of it once we got to Europe, but we took it with us through every flight. And it was just nice to be able to put like food that could like needs to be refrigerated in there for snacks too, so it wasn't always just like pretzels and crackers and like that kind of snacks. Did they understand English? Going in May and my husband is worried about the language barrier. We were a little nervous too, but honestly, France, I felt like everyone could understand us. It was
better than I thought.
Very easy
I feel like going into another country, you kind of have to like be careful and like watching out for yourself, because someone might not understand and tell you one thing, so then you go and do the thing they say. Anyways, we landed in the Nice airport, and Britt was like, "Where's the oversized bags?" And I was like, "Oh, I think they're over here." And she asked the police officer, and I thought the guy did not understand.
He's like, "I don't think he understood what you said." And the guy goes, "I understood."
And he said it in perfect English. And I literally
like, Connor,
wanted to hide in a hole. I was so embarrassed. So
funny.
The French are actually very good at English.
Yeah. Greece, I felt like there were more people that didn't understand English. That was definitely like probably the hardest language barrier we had in all of
But like, you can find like common things, like you can show pictures
really
of stuff, you
deal.
can do pull up like a translating app, you can do so many things to like communicate. And so at the end of the day, you'll make it.
I wouldn't worry. Like, it's definitely not worth not going because you're worried about it. Like, it's
For sure.
really not that big of a deal.
Were food and activities expensive? I think yes. And especially because we were gone for so long, so it added up, and that's kind of why in some of the places like Switzerland we didn't eat out. We tried to be better at that.
Yeah, and we were really good at cooking at home for the first like half of our trip until we got to Greece, and everything was so cheap.
It was $14 to feed our family.
No, it was like 11. Like, so cheap. You can't even get one meal for $11 in
Yeah, so when we got to
amazing.
Greece, we definitely ate out more because to buy all the individual ingredients, it would have been hard.
And honestly, their grocery stores, like, I didn't understand a lot of the things that were there. I'm like,
That
I don't really know
was true.
what this is.
One of the things that was a lot
nervous.
different was like the markets / grocery stores. At least where we visited, some of them weren't as great as here. Switzerland had an amazing one that we went to.
Switzerland had the best one, and honestly, the South, like Via Franche grocery store had a really nice
They
one
had
too.
a couple really
But
nice
other than that, everywhere else we went in Europe didn't have
just
great
like little
grocery stores.
markets where you can find some things and not others, and
It's
so
just definitely not like American grocery stores, which is totally fine, but just different.
not what we were accustomed to.
Yeah, most expensive food out of all the countries, definitely Switzerland.
And then I would say France.
France was expensive as in food.
Like
as
to
well.
eat out dinner, it was
Yeah.
just like very comparable to the United States or more expensive.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully we answered all of your questions, and yeah, we'll be back to the regular scheduled programming on Thursday.
Yeah.